All right, let me just tell you guys, the delay on this is 10 times worse than StreamYard's. I don't know why all of a sudden there's this huge delay, but it's horrible. Horrible. YouTube cut out the way they used to do things, and now they do it differently, and it's horrible. It sucks. But we got it going. Everything's cool. Can you guys hear me okay? Hey, Sammy. Can you guys hear me? I don't know, Capone. Give me a yes if you can hear me. I don't know, Capone. All right. So, welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, this is my main channel. It is my true crime channel. It is where it all began. It's where my heart is. It's where my talent is. And it's what I love. All right. So, let me say hi to everyone. Welcome members. Welcome Patreons. Welcome subs. Welcome oldies like Millbilly. Newbies like Little Swan. And I hope you guys are having a good night. All right. So I'm sorry if this is late. I will be doing this all week. I do have a little thing to tell you guys. I got to fill you guys in on something. I did fall asleep before for like 3 hours because I was so tired from getting like 1 hour of sleep last night, then working all day. So I did fall asleep for like 3 hours. I was off the chain, so I didn't get as much info as I wanted to from this case. But I'll catch up by tomorrow. So what I'm going to talk about tonight is the trial of Joel Guy started today. The man is, I think, in my opinion, one of the sickest motherfuckers we have seen in true crime in a while. I mean, he is beyond sick. The crime scene, they said, was like the worst they've seen in a long time. So, yeah. This guy is like cuckoo crazy. So I'm going to start out with a little video. I personally did not make the video, but it speaks a lot of volumes about the case. And you guys, for all my Patreons, you guys know I make these kind of videos all the time. But this one I didn't particularly make. I didn't happen to make. Okay, so that was just a little video to start out. For those of you that have no idea about the case. What happened to his face? Probably from everything that he did. So let me tell you how the trial, all right, so the trial started today. Let me tell you how the trial opened up. This part I did see. Can't read this. Can't you read this? Can I read what? Berkeley Gal, can I read what? So what I know, all right, so let me just say, you know how whenever somebody dies, it's always, they're such a wonderful person and, you know, this and that, and they had this together and, you know, everyone liked them. They were neighborhood friends. Hey, Letha. Well, it turns out that the very first person that took the stand was his daughter. When I tell you, she was so soft-spoken, she was so nice, she was so sweet, and, you know, she ended up doing what her father does. Like, she followed her father's footsteps. Hey, Tinker, she followed her father's footsteps in what she did for a living. She did all these wonderful things, like, and talked about her father, how wonderful he was, how he was such a family man. She just really painted a beautiful picture. No, not him, his father. Really painted a beautiful picture of the victim. I'm going to get into all their names after. The Joel Guy Sr., his daughter. No, the sister is after. I'm not going to answer comments while I'm doing this because then it throws everybody off. Any questions you have, save till the end. I'll be there. Joel Guy Sr. was the victim, and his wife Lisa. They were both victims in this murder back in November of 2016. Today was the first day of trial. I'm going to get into the actual murder after, but I'm going to set the scene of how trial started, because it's really about the trial. So the first victim, the first person to take the stand was the victim's daughter. She took the stand gloating about what a wonderful person her father was, what a wonderful man he was. Second person to take the stand was the sister. She also gloated what a wonderful family man he was, what a wonderful guy he was. And how then another daughter took the stand and said how loving they were and how much they loved him, and they talked to him every weekend. And the mother was a stepmother. They were married for 31 years. And she absolutely just adored her stepmom. She said that her stepmom was everything that every woman should aspire to be. That she was loving, she was caring, she was just the kids, caboodle. She would have hot dinner, waiting for him when he got home. And she was just everything that every woman should aspire to be. That's who she was. I mean, were they laying it on thick? I don't know. It's only day one. Yeah, they always light up a room, everything. Were they laying it on a little thick? I don't know. Maybe they were just this perfect couple, which does happen. So Joel Jr. was the outcast. According to the family, he always stayed in his room. He always was distant from his family. He never came out of his room. He never spoke to anybody. He never cared about anybody. He never got close to the family. Holiday functions, he just stayed in his room. Now, it turns out that Lisa, the mom, she would work just to give Joel Jr. her paycheck. She couldn't understand why Joel Jr. Didn't work, while Joel Jr., she just gave him everything. And they were finally at the point that they were going to, he's not motivated at all. They were finally at the point that they were going to cut him off. They were going to tell him, look, you're, so many years old, it's time to cut you off. They were also taking him out of the will. So he wasn't going to end up with anything. Now, if you ask any of the brothers, sisters, family members, nobody liked him. Nobody knew who he was. I mean, they knew who he was because he was family, but nobody liked him. Nobody was close to him. Everybody stayed far away from him. They just absolutely wanted nothing to do with them. It was both of their son, but he also had kids. Yeah, he had previous kids. He had kids from a previous marriage, but Joel Guy Jr. was their child. So the opening of the trial, this is how the stage was set. Now I'm going to play a little bit of the trial.
Overwhelmed.
Just to give you guys, it's not going to be a lot, but just to give you guys an idea of how it went down.
Emotionally, I would ask that you leave the courtroom. I think the jury and everyone's going to understand that this would be very difficult for a family to hear, but we want to make sure that we don't have any demonstrations that could affect their emotions, because we need to make sure these folks are making a decision based upon the law and the evidence. Okay, so if you do find yourself becoming emotionally overwhelmed, please just excuse yourself from the courtroom. Thank you.
When you met Lisa and how that came about?
Lisa, when Michelle and I were 3, they met, and she's been like a second mother to us since before I can remember.
So your
Now, they were married 31 years.
mother and your sister's mother and your father divorced, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
When we were 1, I believe, was when they divorced.
Okay. And can you tell the jury how long Joel and Lisa were married?
31 years, I believe.
So when did you first learn that he was going to be retiring?
They had been talking about it for a while, but he had sent a group message to, we have a family.
Okay, so let me explain that too. Hey, Kim, they had a family chat going. And in that family chat, exactly, boiled his mom's head. In that family chat, they would always talk. They always kept in touch. They were always consistent with keeping in touch until that one day that he was no longer in touch with them and he didn't know why. But I'm just showing a couple of seconds of each witness so you guys can see the love, who these people are, because it's much easier when you actually see them than it is for any other, for me to just talk about it. When you actually see their presentation, who they are, it kind of puts, it makes it real.
Family group message, and it,
Is that the house that he was going to buy from you?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, if we could publish this photograph.
On some work, I'm not really sure if she was really going to
That's his
find a job
sister.
or not, but she said, she was excited about everything.
Okay. And does she discuss her future plans on whether or not she could help support her son?
She said that she couldn't do that no more,
Okay.
that he needed to be on his own.
And
That's
did you
the
have an
victim's
opportunity
sister.
to observe the relationship between your brother and Lisa?
Oh yeah, I was with them a lot. We went a lot of places together, parks and stuff, Yeah, they was very much in love, and you could tell it when you was around them.
Hey, Des.
And what was your relationship like with Lisa?
Lisa was like my sister.
Okay. And do you know your nephew very well?
No,
And
no, I really don't.
And that's consistent through the entire trial. Nobody knew this guy. Like, it didn't matter if you were his aunt, his brother, his sister. Nobody knew him. That's how much he stayed in his room and never bothered with the family. Like, he never fucked with the family at all.
And that's
He
obviously
never was around.
He lived in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. Thank you very much, Ms.
You're
White.
welcome.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Just to clarify one point,
And even down to the amount of beer that they drink a week and the amount of cigarettes that they have a week, what amount of money they would need, and that
That's the other sister talking about retirement.
amount of money was what they had to retire.
Now, on Thanksgiving, November the 24th, of that year, did you plan to be with them?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you tell the jury what time you went over and who you were with?
We had, I'm not sure what time I arrived. It was early. We always spent all day together. My 3 sons were with me. They were significantly younger, so they weren't as big in the pictures. See, grown 7 feet. My oldest is here today. So my sons were with me. Sorry.
And anybody else?
So my sons came with me, and then my boyfriend was coming that evening. He was having Thanksgiving dinner at his. He was having Thanksgiving dinner at his granny's house, and then he was coming to my house. But my parents did not know at that point that he was coming.
Okay, but it's fair to say you were with your parents before he came.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And who else was staying in the house?
It was Joel Michael Jr.
Okay. And
he was a conspiracy theorist. I don't know. He loved shooting. I'm joking about the conspiracy theorists.
That right there I thought was kind of funny, because here is a daughter explaining her dad, and she realized after she said, like, he's a conspiracy theorist, maybe that I probably shouldn't have said that, so she took it back. I actually found that kind of funny.
And maybe it's in my head.
that the defendant gave your sons?
Yes, ma'am.
And then exhibit 9.
Okay, so what they're showing there is that, Janelle might be working. What they're showing there is that Joel decided that he was coming out of his room. He was going to be social. He was giving away all his childhood things to his nephews, which are her kids. At the time, she thought it was a little odd, but she really wasn't sure why. It was just one of those things like, okay, maybe he's finally coming out. Maybe he's finally coming out of his room. Maybe he's finally doing something different. So that's where that's at. And that's the pictures they're showing.
Yes, ma'am.
Because for some reason, the mom saved everything. They said the mom, for some reason, kept everything that Joel ever had. Just Angel, you're going to be all caught up to that by the time this live is over. That every single thing that the mother had, every single thing Joel had, the mother had kept. So he was slowly starting to give away stuff, which is something that we know from serial killers. Anyone that's followed serial killers give away stuff. Before they do something, they give shit away. It's just been a pattern of serial killers.
Can you tell the jury a little bit about
Hey, Mel.
about your parents' deaths?
Say it again. Found out.
About
Steph,
your
don't be a
parents'
serial
deaths.
killer.
So Monday morning came, and in our family we have this thing to where we always answer text. You don't not double negative, but you always answer a text, and no one had answered my text. So I had texted them, but then I came down with the stomach virus on Sunday, and so that it took me a minute to get over that. But I had to go to work on Monday. So when I got up for work on Monday, I was driving in, and I don't know when I called my sister, but I know I was on the phone with my sister that morning, and I said, are you all mad at me? Is somebody mad at me? It's not like my family, especially my dad and Lisa, they didn't have problems with, like, they just made the intent to not have problems with people. They would never voice their problem with somebody, and so for them to not answer my text was really weird. And so I said, well, I told Angela I'm going to texted them or wait on their response, and I'm not sure. I'm sure I texted them again or tried to call them
Hey,
again.
Heather.
But at this point, their phones were going to voicemail. And
So one thing you know, though, at this point, they are a very close family. They text all the time. They don't let anybody not know what they're up to, where they're going. They're very close family. That's one thing you get immediately.
I said I'm going to go after work and check on them if they've not responded. And she said, okay, just let me know. And usually if we panicked like that, it always was, at point, okay. And so I don't know the exact time, but about 2, Jennifer had got in touch with me
What up,
through
Bob?
Facebook.
Jennifer Whited.
Yes, ma'am. And she had said, there's something wrong, you need to call me, and I'm not sure her exact message. And so I called her, and she said, you need to get a hold of the detectives. And so I called Detective McCord, and he said, you need to come meet me. And I was working, I can't remember, I don't think the school day was over, because
Hey,
I said
Diane.
people had to get my class. I'm a teacher. And then I had to walk straight out the building, and I collected my kids, my own kids. And he said, do not go to the house. And I said, okay. And he said, meet me at the Harley Davidson place. And I met him at the Harley Davidson parking lot.
Okay.
This is in Knox County, Tennessee, by the way.
And did he tell you what had happened or what he feared had happened?
He said they didn't. He said the bodies were unidentifiable, and I said, well, if you will,
Going into what he said, let me ask you this. Did you give him information about your parents' cars, the kind of cars they had?
Yes, I gave him everything. For the most part, I think I gave him everything he asked about.
For the dog anywhere?
Yes, you could hear a dog in one of the rooms faintly barking.
Okay. And where the dog was, is that one of the rooms that you cleared?
No, sir.
And when you're holding your perimeter back outside, how long do you do that?
It happened November of
How long are
2016.
you holding the perimeter outside?
It seemed
That
like
was his
forever.
daughter. No,
maybe
Knox County, Tennessee.
15
I don't know
minutes,
if that's Knoxville,
10,
but it's
15
Knox
minutes.
County.
Did you have reason
killed
to
both his
re-enter
parents.
the residence that day, sir?
I'm going to get to all that in a
No.
minute.
And I want to ask you...
All right. So let me get into the actual killing. So those of you that are lost, don't get so lost. All right. Knox County, Tennessee. So this is what I'm going to talk about is graphic. It is disgusting. It may even be harder than some of you guys can handle, and I'm giving you that a fair warning. I'm not showing you pictures, so don't freak out, but I just want to let you guys know what you're going to hear is pretty intense, and I mean that. I'm putting that disclaimer on it. According to the state prosecutors, this is how intense it is. According to the state prosecutors, yeah, he's the guy. According to the state prosecutors, this was a crime scene that is in the rarest percentage of U.S. crime scenes for graphic nature. So I really don't think we're going to find these pictures anywhere, anytime in the near future. Just saying. Now, according to the police or the investigators or whoever, Joel Guy Sr. had 42 sharp force injuries, and so severe that 12 marks were left on his ribs, ranging from scratches to completely severing. That's on his ribs. Autopsy reports state multiple sharp force injuries caused damage to the lungs, the liver, and kidneys. Reports state that Joel Sr. had a wound to his shoulder so severe that a fragment of the weapon was left inside of the muscle tissue. His hands were severed at the wrists, his arms were severed at the shoulder blade, his legs were removed at the hip, and his right foot was removed at the ankle. Now, this is all according to the court records. Prosecutor also said that evidence showed there was a fierce struggle indicating that he fought for his life. Now, what we don't know, and at least I don't know if it happened later in trial that I didn't watch yet, was I don't know if he actually killed him by stabbing him or if he was stabbing him and severed him at the same time. I don't know that yet. So if anyone knows if they gave that answer yet, let me know. Officials say that after he killed him, Joel Guy Sr. was disrobed after his murder and his clothes were left in a bloody pile. Now, according to, I'm going to get to that too, Yumpters. According to prosecutors, his wife, Lisa Guy, was stabbed 31 times. The stabbing caused 21 severe injuries, severed 9 of her ribs, and left several stab wounds to her butt. Why he was stabbing her butt, I don't know. Officials say Lisa Guy's clothing was cut from her after a murder. Her legs were severed below the knee, and her arms were severed at the shoulder. During the hearing, though, officials said that Lisa Guy's head was removed from the spine after blunt force trauma was allegedly applied to her neck. Officials revealed many of the victims' limbs were placed in 45-gallon containers covered with a corrosive substance and left to liquefy. State prosecutors described the discovery as a diabolical stew of human remains. Lisa Guy's severed head was discovered by the police in a pot boiling on the stove, according to court documents. They said that the cops had discovered the crime scene and had a physical reaction to the odor in the home where the bodies were found. Now, this is where this dude was living. State prosecutors also said that he had a plan, arguing the incident was premeditated murder. They say that Joel Guy Jr. had a checklist of notes before and after the murder, including get killing knives. This is what was written in these notes. Get killing knives, flush chunks down toilet, not garbage disposal, body gives time of death, alibi. So this was completely premeditated. The state also said that his notes stayed, kill him with knife, kill her with knife. The state then argued that Joel Guy Jr.'s motive was financial. Prosecutors said in an opening statement that that Joel Guy Jr.'s documented phrases like her assets, her life, insurance, $500,000, possibly more, money all mine, I get the whole thing. He's so sick that I don't even know why he thought that he was going to get everything. So Robin White, which was that was the blonde. She's Joel Guy's senior sister. She took the stand like we saw. And she told the witness stand, she said on the witness stand that that Joel Guy Sr. planned to retire, move, and cut his son off financially. That's not out of the norm for people that move out of state. I'm sorry, not move out of state. I'm mixing my notes with, thoughts. That's not out of the norm for people that retire if they're taking care of a child, unless there's a child that, has cerebral palsy or absolutely can't take care of themselves, and they're just being lazy, or even if they have a mental problem, you can't just live off mom and dad forever. So usually when people retire, they get cut off. They finally cut the kids off because they finally want to enjoy the rest of their life. No, there wasn't, Steph. Well, I shouldn't say there wasn't. The guy was fucking insane. Plain and simple. Just absolutely insane. So, Joel's sister and half-sister, which the first person and the third person that I showed you on the stand, said that they only knew, said they knew Joel Guy Sr. and Lisa planned to financially cut off their son. Because that's something that was said in all 3 of the victims, that they cut him off. They planned to tell him during the Christmas holiday, where the family planned to be together at the family's house in Surgeonsville, Tennessee. Now, here's the other catch to this. Yeah, that's him on the screen. That's the murderer. Dawn Marie, I did. I'm saving questions for later. Hold on to it. So, when the one of the daughters were asked, should they, tell him at Thanksgiving, or could they make it for Thanksgiving? And they decided that they were going to wait because she couldn't make it in because she had to do an emergency. She had to be out for an emergency. She decided that she was going to, get together at Christmas. And that's when they were all going to get together. That's when the whole family was going to get together, was over Christmas. So Joel Guy Jr.'s half-sister, Angelo, and Lisa Guy only worked to give her paycheck to Joel. That's what the half-sister said, that Lisa Guy just always gave her paycheck on. Now, Joel Guy Sr. had a good job. Lisa Guy's boss, who was this Jennifer Whitehead, said that she'd called 911 concerned for her safety when she didn't show up at work. Whitehead said she kept calling and hoping Lisa would pick up, but when she didn't, Whitehead knew something wasn't right. So that's where her head's at. That's where, everybody knew, like, this was just not normal for them. I mean, this was like the all-American family, all-American parents, I should say. So after Whitehead's call, deputies perform a welfare check. During this check, authorities discovered the bodies of both Joel and Lisa. So Michelle Tyler, who was Joe Guy Sr.'s daughter, she was the third one on the stand. She said that Tyler said that Joel never really talked to the family, even when the family was there. She said she thought it was odd he was talking to her kids and showing them old toys during the 2016 Thanksgiving holiday. Tyler also recalled seeing blue containers in Joel Guy's car on Thanksgiving. Now, the way she explained that is that she was walking past the car, like her washing machine blew. So she walked past the washing machine and she knew something. Walked past his car and she knew something wasn't right. She was like, yeah, something just is not right about this. I don't know what it is, but it's just not right. So she realized at that point that why did he have these big drums in his car? Well, that also shows premeditation. So Tyler also recalled, I already said that. Officer Stephen Ballard, who was the first Knox County Sheriff's officer to respond to the welfare check of Lisa, took the stand after the family did. Ballard said he felt tingling on his forehead as he entered the home due to the odor of numerous chemicals. Now, the body cam footage from the welfare check where officials discovered the bodies of Lisa and Joel was shown during day one of the trial. They did not show it publicly, I don't believe. I have not gotten that far, but I don't think they showed it publicly. The video shows the moment Ballard realized the front door was ajar and the back door was missing a knob. An investigator can be heard on camera pointing out a hand when they enter the home before the officers realize they need backup. Now, maybe they did show it, I don't know. Footage also showed numerous bottles of bleach in the kitchen alongside tools in the kitchen table. Body cam footage showed the stove. Oh, they did? Okay. Body cam footage showed the stovetop as it was still turned on with a pot on top. Investigators said they later discovered Lisa Guy's severed head in the pot. Deputies recalled the thermostat in the home had been set to 90 degrees and groceries, including perishables, were strewn across the entryway. Officials released footage of bloodstains near the stairs of the home where investigators said Lisa Guy was killed in a pile of her clothes. Forensic investigator then came in, said evidence was found in nearly every room of the house. She captured video of her initial walkthrough, which showed the bodies of Lisa and Joel inside plastic tubs filled with chemicals. The video also showed blood spattered throughout her house, groceries brought by Lisa Guy dropped by the front door that had never even made it to the refrigerator, and shredded articles of clothing spread through multiple rooms. There was also evidence that Joel Guy had treated injuries in one of the bathrooms. That was probably his own injuries, and that is how day one concluded. It resumes tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, that is what we know. Let me just check something. Hold on.
So the vice grip's here in the hammer.
Okay.
Here's to be a bloody...
There is some evidence that I can show. No, it didn't say he was eating them.
Since there's a large number, I suspect we're getting ready to go through these really quickly. And you may be thinking, oh, I wish you could go back and see that. Well, you'll have a chance to go back and see
I don't
that
know
all
why
you
it's
want
so
to during
low.
deliberations, because we're going to go through these pretty quickly. Officer, you understand you are still under oath?
Yes, sir.
You may resume your direct examination.
Okay, this is a picture, the exterior of the residence, right here at the garage door, and you remember that placard, that piece of evidence that was blowing in the breeze in the beginning of the video? It's here in this corner by the front tire of that bicycle. It's marked as evidence marker A.
Okay. Next photo.
You can see it's got some reddish brown staining on it. It's a little piece of paper towel. So this is going into the garage proper. It's the medical examiner and a death investigator. So my scale on the ground right here is marking what appears to be a bloody shoe print or reddish brown staining.
General, if you'll pause right there. What else is here?
It was a bloody napkin, a piece of a bloody napkin.
Oh. Okay.
So this is just a closer up picture of the same fragment. Again. Again. Again.
It's part of a bloody footprint, I think.
Yeah, so going into the kitchen. The eat-in dining room table, the table in the eat-in kitchen. Evidence marker B is 2 wallets and a set of keys. Just going to kind of do overalls of the room first. So, stuff here on the floor, stuff on the counters, all marked.
And what you're stating is all the placards have a significance or what you believe
Correct.
to be
Yes. Yes.
He did have a boiling pot with his mom's head.
in the green box. Did you have a chance to document what that was?
Yeah, I think there's a closer up picture of it later. I'm not sure if it's in this pile of photos, but it's a box that's marketed as containing something that's marketed as a bleach sprayer.
Going forward.
There's blood.
So this is back at the table. So again, B is the
The
2
mom.
wallets and the set of keys.
And did you have a chance to document whose driver's license was in the red wallet?
The red wallet driver's license is Lisa Guy. So item C, we use the tools. So the vice grips here
Ew.
and the hammer are marker C. And we ended up including the money in marker D just because it was going to be easier to keep more like things together. So
I
D is
agree,
the
Lady
magazine,
D.
the purse and the money. So this is a bag of trash and some towels, and like I don't remember exactly how we broke it up. I'm not sure if you guys are going to get a list of the evidence.
There's blood, blood,
But-
blood, blood.
Bleach sprayer, bag of trash, towels, some rolls of trash bags, 3 containers of bleach, a bottle of muriatic acid,
Yeah, I said
and
that.
a
90
another
degrees.
thing of baking soda. There's also a lighter there.
Moving on into the kitchen.
So this is the moving on into the kitchen. G is a cell phone.
That's where the mom's head was. Right there.
H is the stock pot.
Mom's head was in there.
So I is the contents of the sink, which is what appears to be a doorknob and a realtor's lock in some sort of fluid. We're not sure exactly at this point what it is.
Looks like a lock.
So this is the other side of the sink, and item J and K.
And what does evidence placard J?
I believe J is there's a set of gloves there, like disposable blue medical
He
type
put her head in his own stock pot.
And evidence placard K?
I believe K is that empty pill bottle. Let me verify. Bear with me. It is that.
I mean, it's kind of clean for everything that he did. And it was still boiling. That's blood.
When you were documenting this crime scene, were there any pills left in evidence marker K, the pill bottle?
No, that pill bottle was empty.
And did you have cause to look as to who it was prescribed to?
It was, I think there's a picture of it that'll show specifically. I think it is to Joel M. Guy.
Realtor's lock, yes. That's what I thought too. Oxycodone.
Into the dining room.
Blood.
And this is, in this photo you can see
gun.
Just guns and boxes of ammunition were marked.
Yeah, realtor's lockbox. You're right, because they were selling the house. Now, during trial, though, the daughter said that there were tons of guns, that her dad had tons of guns. She made this whole thing about how everybody had guns. Yeah, the pills were Oxycontins that were for the father. They were prescribed to the father.
So item W there that's marked as W is part of the doorknob and some, like, the interior workings.
He took off the back doorknob. No, the cops don't know why.
Of the doorknob and a screwdriver. So going into the foyer, we marked the groceries that had been brought in. It's just a large amount.
He killed his mom as she came in the door. Because that's why those bags never made it to the fridge.
So we were going to count multiple items under each evidence placard. So there's some bacon and some sausage and some lunch meat, and all of these things were warm. They weren't.
No, he stabbed them.
Cold. Dog treats, carpet cleaner.
Certainly got beer.
Glove pack.
People out there.
One gray bag. So that gray bag right there.
And evidence marker H.
H is this Walmart bag right there.
He killed his dad first, and then his mom wasn't home when he killed his dad. He killed his dad while his mom was out. His mom then came in, and that's when he killed his mom.
containing, I believe it's Walmart bag, containing starter gray workout pants, gray long sleeve t-shirt, and 2 pairs of gray socks.
Okay, evidence marker I.
I is a 3M dust mask and Irwin vice grip tag, and it's also one unopened gallon jug of Liquid Fire is the brand of drain line opener.
Okay. Evidence marker J.
J has a lot of stuff in it. It's got it's flex on hose packaging, HDX extension cord, Sharpie markers, safety goggles, a Defiant heavy duty timer, Delta shower head, Irwin vice grip, a Home Depot bag with HDX extension cord, a piece of plastic packaging.
The parents were not afraid of him.
And evidence marker K.
K is, let's see, 1, 2, 3 unopened Pure Health Discounts certified 35 food grade hydrogen peroxide, and it also, under evidence marker K, we collected 2 glass dropper bottles.
Hey, so
That better depict. Okay. Evidence marker L.
L is it's a large roll of clear plastic, and it's packaging as well that it came in.
Is that plastic that you describe, is that consistent with what's in the master bathroom?
I can say that it appears to be cut. It doesn't appear to have come from the manufacturer with a jagged edge. And the bathroom floor is also lined with a piece of plastic that appears to be cut.
Evidence marker M.
no, they were cutting him off.
M is an Nova mountable heater, a Baco work light, a glass blender pitcher.
Evidence marker N.
N is 7 Thai brand Beanie Babies and 1 Clifford stuffed dog.
Evidence marker O.
O is 1 Eastwig 3-pound hammer, a flashlight, a Home Depot bag, a Baco work light, clear packaging, and 2 glass dropper bottles.
Evidence marker P.
P is a Defiant heavy-duty timer, GE light bulbs, Zep empty sprayer bottle, and 1 Walmart bag. And there's also a Breville blender base.
Steph, he's 32. Sorry.
Evidence marker Q.
Q is 2 post-it notes with handwriting on them.
Evidence marker N.
I wanted to read that.
N is 7 Thai brand Beanie Babies and 1 Clifford stuffed dog.
Evidence marker O.
That is correct,
O
Yumters.
is 1 Eastwig 3-pound hammer, a flashlight, a Home Depot bag.
No, it was McDonald's,
a Baco
actually.
work light, clear packaging, and 2 glass dropper bottles.
Evidence marker P.
P is a Defiant heavy-duty timer, GE light bulbs, Zep empty sprayer bottle, and 1 Walmart bag. And there's also a Breville blender base.
Evidence marker Q.
Q is 2 post-it notes with handwriting on them.
Oh, it's not going to let you. Shit. Hold my old dead ashes and sparkle us both after you pass at buzzers. That's all I could get.
Evidence marker R.
R is the plastic sheeting that's in the floor of the master bath.
Okay. Evidence marker S.
S is a sprayer handle, a bristled brush head, torn hose packaging, 1 plastic washer, and 3 pieces of white packaging straps. And it's also 1 green hose.
Wow.
Evidence marker T.
T is a Emerald brand kitchen knife.
Is that better depicted in this picture?
Yes.
Evidence marker U.
He's
U
32.
is those gloves. They're like the kitchen dishwashing gloves, the kind of thick ones.
Evidence marker V.
V is 1 box of Hornady Critical Defense buckshot 12 gauge 8 pellet.
That's some old ass
ammunition.
furniture they got.
Let me back up there, excuse me. Evidence marker W.
So W is an open box of VWR size medium nitrile gloves. So just standard kind of medical type gloves.
Evidence marker Y.
He's crazy. That's what's wrong with his eyes.
Y is that laptop computer.
I want to ask you what evidence marker looks like. It's a small B and a big V.
Yeah, so what happened is we ran out of the alphabet, so we had to start over, so we've doubled the letters, so A, A, B, B, C, C, kind of moving forward. So B, B, I believe, is the, I think we just took the sheets and everything. Yeah, we took the flat sheets, the pillowcase, the fitted sheets. There's a towel on the bed that has some staining on it. We took that. And then the comforter.
See, but considering how much was done
Evidence marker double C.
and what he did to
Double
them,
C
I think the
are
house is
the
pretty clean.
prescription bottles there on the shelf right below.
That's a pretty
And,
clean house
there's
for
4
what
of
was
them
done.
For some are for Joel M. Guy, and one of them is for Lisa Guy.
Evidence marker double A.
Melanie, that was probably defensive
A
wounds.
is an unopened package of Clorox brand gloves and 2 plastic Walmart bag. It's at least a Walmart bag with a Baco work light in it as well.
Okay. Now we're turning to X.
X is an open container of the Pure Health Discount certified 35 food grade hydrogen peroxide.
I want to ask you about these cards. Did you collect these cards in the course of collecting physical evidence?
Let me see. Yes, we did.
And who are those cards?
They are, the name on the cards is Joel M. Guy.
And evidence marker Z.
Z is that glove that's laying there. I believe it's just one.
And what is this? What is this prescription for?
This one is for tramadol.
All right, so we know they were drinkers and they were pill poppers.
And the address on the bottles?
All of them have the address of Golden View Lane.
Okay. Evidence marker double D there?
It is a Miracle Blade 3 knife.
Evidence marker double E?
Double E is 2 gray Under Armour, 2 gray Banana Republic underwear, and 2 white t-shirts.
Evidence marker double N?
I'm going to let this run. I got to get Phoenix ice water. Hold on.
Double N is the shower curtain. We ended up taking it because I had some staining on it.
Double I?
Double I is a set of keys. It has 7 keys and a Kia car fob and a cell phone, Samsung Galaxy S5.
Double J?
Double J is 1 bottle of hydrogen peroxide. It's a 16-ounce bottle.
Double K?
Double K is 1 blue round brush, several pieces of toilet paper with staining, and Renew saline contact case, medical tape packaging, Aveeno lotion, 2 Ziploc bags, multiple blue disposable gloves, Charmin wet wipes, and multiple pieces of medical tape.
Double F?
Double F is a drinking glass.
Double G?
Double G is 1 plastic Walmart bag with red skin potato salad and some Bactrin zinc ointment, 1 sock containing 1 receipt, 1 $5 bill, 1 $1 bill, 3 quarters, 4 pennies, 1 cardboard center first aid tape, a first aid tape, and a brown piece of paper.
Double H?
Double H is 1 knife marked USMC and 6 spacers.
And when you say spacers, are those components of that knife?
Yes.
Is this the receipt that you physically collected?
Yes.
And what is the date on that receipt?
It is 11/26.
And the time on that receipt?
I think it says 15/25.
And the physical address on that receipt?
It's the Walmart at 10900 Parkside Drive in Knoxville. 15:35 was the time on the receipt.
And for those of us not familiar with military time, 15:35 would translate to what?
3:35 in the afternoon.
I am back.
Double L is in the back.
Exactly, Badger.
All right, for double L, we have 2 bottles of 91% isopropyl alcohol.
I'm surprised they're even. Oh, it was 2016. I was going to say Walmart's not open late anymore.
Equate triple antibiotic, Dermaplast pain relieving antibacterial spray, and another bottle of 91% isopropyl rubbing alcohol. This one is a 32-ounce bottle. Double M is that first aid tape there in the corner.
I believe you covered double N.
Yes,
Shower
it is
curtain.
the shower curtain.
Double O.
Double O is the trash can, the entire bag. We took the entire bag because we wanted the contents as well.
Yeah, November of 2016.
Double P.
Double P is one gray fleece blanket, a brown fleece blanket, 2 white washcloths, 1 sock, and 2 pair of gray Banana Republic underwear.
Are those consistent with the 2 pair of Banana Republic underwear from the guest bathroom?
Yes.
Finally, some real blood.
Say double T.
Double T is one Vidronics kitchen knife.
Double S.
Double S is one stainless steel kitchen knife.
Double R.
Double R is one camouflage UT hat.
Double Q.
Double Q is 2 white and blue Nike tennis shoes, 1 pack of Marlboro Lights, 1 Clippers, and 1 Blistex.
And double U.
Look at the knives.
There's more to double Q, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Jeans with a belt that have been cut, 1 black knee brace, 1 Hanes underwear, 2 socks, and 1 handkerchief. And also in double Q is 1 brown cut t-shirt.
Yeah,
1
she does a little.
cut hoodie, and 1 Tennessee sweatshirt that's also been cut.
Okay. And double U.
W is 1 white hand towel.
This guy's a big time nut job.
Like double V.
Double V is the comforter and the sheet, and then there's a white towel and a white trash bag on that bed. So all of those things we collected as well.
And did you notice any defects on the comforter?
Yes, if you'll, I think in the pictures it'll show soon. So there's this.
He was
tear.
junior. He was Joel Guy Jr. His dad was Joel Guy
And
Sr.
You'll notice in the picture prior to this, there was some fluff in the floor. So this is back downstairs, and I know that because this evidence marker E does not have the arrow. So this is the bag of trash that was in the kitchen floor. You remember that big pile of stuff that was down there as soon as you kind of walked in, right there in the eat-in kitchen part of the kitchen. Under those towels was this bag of trash. So this is the contents of that bag of trash.
And within the bag, are those latex gloves?
They are.
Are those consistent with the gloves that are upstairs?
Yeah, they appear to be the same kind. So this is back in the guest bedroom. This is one of those items that did not get initially marked as evidence, so it didn't have a placard in the beginning of the pictures. And this is the suitcase that was in the floor in the guest bedroom, right in front of the bookcase. You'll remember from the video it was open. So this is that suitcase.
What are we looking at?
This is a post-it note.
Thanks, Mama
that was
Rex.
in one of the zippered compartments of the suitcase.
What are we looking at, man?
This is a handwritten post-it note that says Dan Bedouin's Ace Hardware at 4767 Highway 1, Napoleon, Louisiana, 70390. It says Roto 6.5 pound sewer line cleaner, and then it says $19.99. So this is the rest of the suitcase back open.
In the underwear depicted in this picture, are those consistent?
It's another set of the Banana Republic underwear.
And just to clarify, the underwear, they're located in the guest bathroom as well as in the laundry room.
Correct.
What are we looking at?
This is a knife sheath, and the sheath itself is stamped with USMC.
He was a college dropout.
You also asked to document the physical clothing that was taken from the residence at 11434 Bowsley Lane.
Yes, so the piles of clothing that we had to really kind of stick everything in one. Yes, I did photograph that in a separate manner in the forensics lab here.
And tell the members of the jury what you had to do to kind of make it a cohesive piece of clothing, if you will, or make sense of how it was left.
So you remember in the description, the clothing was all described as cut in one way or another. So we, typically speaking, when I'm going to photograph something like that, that has been cut, I want to kind of put it back together and then show the lines of where it's been cut. And the way that I do that is with orange evidence placards go underneath the cuts, so that when everything is put back together, you can see where it was cut and how it used to be whole. So, like, how it was cut.
He wasn't living in the house.
Where did you do that?
He wasn't living in the house. He was there on vacation for Thanksgiving. He lived in Louisiana.
Where did you actually take these pictures?
I took these pictures in the forensics lab
Okay.
downstairs here in this building. This is a pair of women's underwear that also from the back aspect has been cut. This is a woman's tank top that has been also cut and has multiple cuts all within the back aspect. This is just kind of a closer up picture of the different kinds of cuts. This is another part of it showing it kind of open. That's how I know.
Because he's insane, Jen. We're going to get into that once this is done. This is almost done.
So this is a woman's sweater. I believe this one is the front, and it has all the staining. The sleeves are inside out, though, so it is sitting there weirdly, but it's mostly inside out. Yes, that's more just kind of cut marks in the sweater. So this is the rear aspect of the sweater. And what I'm trying to do here is kind of piece it together the best that I can to show that it has not only been cut, but then also has like holes in it as well.
Yep, I'll tell her that.
So this is a pair of men's jeans, and I'm not sure if you can see, like right in here, and right in here, and also right in here are places where there's cuts on them. I'm sorry.
Top right corner, you click on that arrow, the green arrow at the top right. See what I'm doing?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Oh, that one.
Click on that, it brings your menu up,
Oh, and then
then
clear.
you can change whatever you're going to mark it. But hit
Okay,
clear,
excellent.
then clear.
Okay, thank you. So there's more of the kind of cut. This is the back aspect of those jeans. So this is a man's t-shirt that has cuts along the front aspect. This is cut from top to bottom, or bottom to top. I'm not sure of the order, but circle to cut. So what I'm talking about is through here being cut.
These are the
And then
clothes
there's
the
also
parents were
here,
wearing,
here,
yes.
Here, here. So this is the back aspect of that same shirt. There is, and so it's dried kind of crinkly, so it doesn't really want to lay flat, and I don't want to stretch it. So it's right in there is the cut, and I think I'm not sure if there's a closer up picture of it or not in this series. No. So this is a man's camouflage sweatshirt or like kind of jacket, and then underneath it, still attached, is a University of Tennessee sweatshirt, and they both have cuts in them, and they're both, the sweatshirt is cut, the jacket, I believe, had a zipper front closure, but I've used different colors on this to show, because I didn't want to take them apart, because I wanted to show that they were still together. So on this one, what you're seeing in this picture is going to be the green of the jacket cuts. So right here, and right here, I think are the main ones that are visible on this aspect. And this is the back aspect of the whole sweatshirt and jacket together.
And what else and that way, if the plastic corrodes or whatever, it doesn't affect the...
Right, so often with plastic, mold will grow because air can't get in there to allow wet material to dry.
On health. So thank you so much, folks.
All right, so that's the evidence that they have. This guy is truly a sick fuck. I mean, beyond comprehension. So just to get the confusion out of the way, so people are less confused, let me explain it like this. He didn't live there. But when he was there, when he went to visit, he never came out of the room. I think that's where people got confused. And that's my fault. I'm sorry for confusing anybody. He never came out of the room when he went there. So even though he didn't live there, his parents paid for everything. And he never had a job. He even lived in a different state. But when his parents finally decided they were going to cut him off, done. Finished. He went there and destroyed them. So, like I said, today was day 1 of trial. We still have much more ahead. And, yeah, it's a pretty fucked up story. And King, Badger, you may get your wish. He took the stand. There is it's only day one. There's so much more to it. We'll know more as time goes on. Day one is usually just family and setting things up, the police. He's not on any drugs, allegedly. They were selling the home and retiring, correct. And I know that I was a little out of order today. That's because I went home and after I tried to put together one of these chairs that I'm kind of stumped on, I fell asleep. I had to go to bed. I was like getting dizzy because I had like 2 hours of sleep last night. So I had to go to sleep. So I took a nap. And then I woke up. It was like 8:30 and I had to eat. And here we are. Dayton tried making a pizza himself. It did not fare well. Oh, by the way, Sage got her COVID test back, and it came back negative. So it's definitely possible to live in a house with somebody that tested positive and not get it, even though they share a bathroom and everything. See, that's the other thing. I don't know why he thought that he was going to get all of the money. That it's not his money to get. I guess because he thought they were other stepbrothers and sisters. I don't know. Hummingbird, I told her she's going to need to go live and drag someone after this depressing stream because I'm going to need a chaser. Yes, and now Sage is all happy with her boyfriend. So if she don't have it, I'm pretty convinced me and Dayton don't have it either. It's just beyond sick. Forgive me, but he deserves death penalty, sick or not. Sage, daughter. Yeah, Sage is my daughter. All right, it's the little swan. I have 3 kids. Sage is my daughter. Phoenix is her twin brother, and then I have Dayton, who's my little one. I'm with you, bad, a good idea. Anyone else checking their eyes now to see if they have Sanpaku? What's Sanpaku? Oh. I have to make more emojis on this channel for members. I don't have enough emojis. All right. So that's what I have for you so far, doing. Does anyone have any questions? Reminds me of Adam Lanza? Maybe. Hey, Makeup Mobster. Check your eye, MM Education today. My brother was tested COVID today. It was negative. Thank goodness. I think he looks like Foodie Beauty. He does look like Foodie Beauty. Why is he calling you a would-be rapist, Laura? Who? Oh, the one that's doxing me all over? Tupac or whatever? Tupez? Because he's a fucking moron who's talking shit. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I don't know why it's been 4 years, Soul. That I don't know yet. No, I don't think he's faking mental illness, Muppets. He has his mom's head was in a pot in the stove. I think that's kind of fucking psychotic. I don't see how you can mistake that for psychoticness. Kelly, I don't know that answer yet. I don't know, Mercedes girl. Diane says otherwise. I don't know. I'll talk to you about it on my other channel. Does anyone have any more questions about this case? If not, we'll pick it up tomorrow. Tomorrow I should have a lot more time. Like I said, I was just absolutely exhausted today. Why was his mom's head in a pot? Because he dismantled them. He took them apart and put her head in a pot and was cooking it. That's how the cops walked in and found it. They looked in the pot and it was his mom's head. Yeah, thermostat was at 90 degrees, oven were on. No, he was actually being taken out of the will, but he didn't know that at the time. He had no idea at the time. That's why he thought he was getting all the money. Yeah, he put his own mother's head in a stock pot. Pretty sick. The term pothead has a new meaning. It does, Yumpters. It definitely does. His parents were retiring. They wanted to sell the house. And they would just say, hey, Kim, I love you too. They were just going to retire. And once they retired, they were cutting them off so they could live, their own life. Because the trial just started today, King. It had a lot of, there were like 4,000 people watching trial. But you have to remember, when a case goes so long, when it's been 4 years, people forget about it. A lot of people watched the original case, but then forgot about it. And it's a Tennessee case. See, this is where I wish I didn't work. Because if I didn't work, I would fucking drive right to Tennessee and go watch the trial in person and report it. But I can't. I got to work. One day. A lot of shit seems to happen in Tennessee. No, he wasn't living with his parents, but his mom would sign over her paychecks to him. She basically worked to send him a paycheck. I miss true crime too, Soul. It's so time consuming with work. That's the only problem. I know it would be, Little Swan, but there's something called a job that gets in the way of me going to trials. See, they should have trials in the afternoon. You're not using your stock pot again? See, Heather, you'd go with me. That would be awesome. But make a master, even for other trials, that's something I would love to do. Watching it on TV is one thing, but being there, going in as press, everything. It's not that hard to go in as press. I know, right? Damn those jobs. Damn, gotta pay the bills. True crime is very time consuming. Doesn't Tennessee have death penalty? Yes, it does. A stock pot is one of those big pots, the big silver pots. Hold on. I'll show you in a minute. Oh, I also want to let you guys know what the note said. Yeah, that's a stock pot. That's a stock pot. He did not. The cops said the house stunk like chemicals. I don't know if he was going to eat it. I think he was just trying to eliminate everything. I really do. I think he was just trying to eliminate it. I think he used lye and a couple of other things. But the cops said the house was so engulfed in chemical smell that it was disgusting. I know, right? You go in somebody's house, they're going to have a cover on the crock pot. You're going to go lift it, you're going to think of a head. Eventually, those photographs will be released. It'll take some time, but it will be released. So, all right, I'm going to shut down this channel. I will see you guys tomorrow for day 2 of trial. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. We are almost at 10,000. Hit that subscribe button, sign up for membership, and that's it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Peace. Spaghetti pot, whatever. They call it a stock pot.